our chances of ending that climate emergency. So how is UN Kenya, UN Women, and the whole UN family in Kenya helping you and your government reach equality for women and girls? First, we're working to empower women socially and economically. Difficulties in accessing services, gender-based violence and poverty fuel and aggravate higher rates of inequality in a vicious circle. In just one example, you and I were together just last year in Nakuru, Mheshimiwa Rais, to mark World AIDS Day together. And we underlined that gender inequality is a key driver of the AIDS pandemic and vice versa. And that's why we're bringing joined-up leadership and support to bear on the twinned fights for gender equality and eradicating HIV. And that's why we've recently mobilized $7 million American to launch the world's first development impact bond for adolescent sexual and reproductive health right here in Kenya. Perhaps I'll be able to invite you to launch that with me, Excellency. Second, we're adding our strengths to your push to end violence against women and girls through your 12 key commitments that you made and unveiled right here last year. But, Mheshimiwa Rais, in the last few days, I'm sadly certain we've all seen the viral and truly nightmarish video of a sexual assault in broad daylight against a young woman driver on Forest Road. That attack, we all share the view, was vile, repugnant, unacceptable, and we condemn it absolutely together. But it was a brutally graphic reminder of just how far we still all have to go to protect the dignity, the rights, and the personhood of all women and girls in Kenya. Third, we're helping you, Mr. President, advance women's public leadership and participation. Just yesterday, I was alongside the African Women Leaders Network in Kenya, Waziri Margaret Kenyatta and Daktari Jennifer Riria, to launch two important new initiatives together. The first supports and hopes to protect women going forward to the elections in August, because unacceptably, women candidates and women voters remain particular targets of electorally based gender violence. We must fight this together. The number of women representatives in government has improved on your watch, Mheshimiwa Rais, so hongera sana, but it still does, we know, remain low in comparison to our neighbours across East Africa, particularly in your country, Madam First Lady, and hongera sana we say in Swahili. So, Mr. President, we count on your leadership to realise the constitutional two-thirds gender principle. It's so fundamental. It's so fundamental for women to be able to claim their rightful place and leadership in Kenya. Na kumbukeni marafiki, mwezi Agosti, chagua mama. The second initiative that we launched is a powerful new national women's mediation network, and that will bring a strong new instrument to reinforce Kenya's already robust national peace infrastructure. Women in Kenya have always driven peace building and peacemaking. This new network, along with a national mediation team soon to be launched, and the new Uwiano strategy that we launched together this morning, all put women front and centre as August approaches, because women's leadership can ensure uchaguzi bila noma. Mheshimiwa Rais, I know we can count on your passionate support to all of these crucial peace-building initiatives, and you can count on the United Nations. We cannot leave women and girls behind in Kenya, or Kenya herself will be left behind. When we met last year, during the Deputy Secretary General's last visit, I had the honour to present to you the United Nations' new UN Kenya Leave No One Behind analysis. And because of what it told us very, very clearly, we're building our new UN Kenya support envelope for the next 4 years centrally around that focus on women and girls. So, you'll be relieved to hear I'm finishing. Mheshimiwa Rais, marafiki, let me end by calling on and encouraging all the women of Kenya to use their power, their networks, and their innovation to lead us in 2022 and going forwards. Please help your communities combat and adapt to the ravages of the climate emergency, and please also lead us to prevent violence in your communities so that Kenya, once again, provides a model to Africa and the world of uchaguzi bila noma. Heri ya siku ya kimataifa ya wanawake. Asanteni sana.
Asanti sana daktari, na kwa sasa Mheshimiwa Rais, nitaomba tena unikubalie niweze kumwalika waziri katika Wizara ya Huduma ya Umma, Jinsia, Masuala ya Wananchi na Mipango Maalum, Profesa Margaret Kenyatta atuongoze katika ratiba ifuatayo. Karibu sana waziri.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency Honorable Uhuru Kenyatta, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces of the Republic of Kenya, Your Excellency Madam Margaret Kenyatta, the First Lady of the Republic of Kenya, Her Excellency the First Lady of the Republic of Rwanda, Jeanette Kagame, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, I'm pleased to welcome you to this year's celebration of International Women's Day 2022. This is the day we celebrate all the gains that we have made toward gender equality, and together we reflect on the journey ahead. Your Excellency, I want to thank you for providing the political leadership that champions for equal opportunities for women, girls, boys, and men to realize their full potential. Sir, today we recognize the support that you have given to the First Lady, Her Excellency Margaret Kenyatta. Through our office, and particularly our Marathon and Beyond Zero program, she has given a new meaning to the office of the First Lady by touching lives through mobile clinics everywhere in this country. Last week when we were celebrating Maendeleo at 70, the mobile clinic for the First Lady was right there in Bukungu Stadium, providing cancer screening and other health services. Your Excellency, in fulfillment of the promise that we made regarding supporting senior trailblazers, I'm happy to report that about 11 senior trailblazers have been visited, delivered your goodwill message and that of the First Lady, given them their recognition award, and allow me, Your Excellency, just to mention them so that we can applaud them. The first one was, and not in any order, Honorable Grace Onyango, Honorable Mama Phoebe Asio, Her Excellency Margaret Kenyatta, Mrs. Joan Mujomba, Honorable Senator Kitoni, Mrs. Mudhoni Rikimani, Honorable Nyeba Mwendwa, Professor Lea Malango, Professor Miriam Were, Mrs. Honelin Kipragat, and Enda Kashukia. Your Excellency, nobody can ask who is that in this room. They are our senior trailblazers whose shoulders we stand on. Your Excellency, during the International Women's Day celebration in 2018, you directed that the ministry that is responsible for gender and the culture should support the trailblazers to document their memoirs. I'm pleased, Your Excellency, to report that 3 publications have been, which are displayed here, have been launched this morning. Your Excellency, these are publications by Cheer Grit by Honorable Sipora Kitoni. The second one, Witness to Transitions by Professor Julia Ojiambo. And the third one was Staying on Course by Dr. Lindia Zomo. If you are here, please can we stand? Where are the Trailblazers? Please stand and we give them a big hug. Thank you, Your Excellency. Further, this morning, we have launched the first ever gender policy for private sector in Kenya. I would like to recognize the leadership of the Kenya Private Sector Alliance led by CEO Caroline Kariuki Karuga and our team. Are you here today? We are celebrating. Thank you. This policy will go a long way in advancing gender equality and women's empowerment in the private sector. Your Excellency, in fact, the private sector lags behind the government, and that effort from private sector is applauded. Lastly, we launched a publication on conversation with the pathfinders, Kenya women in politics, in leadership, social mobilization, and their contribution to Constitution 2010. This is a publication by the University of Nairobi Women's Economic Empowerment Hub based in African Women's Studies Center. I would like to recognize the Vice Chancellor who is with us, Stephen Kiama, Dr. Wanjiko Kabera, and if you are here, can you stand and we applaud you? Your Excellency, we are doing that because today we are demonstrating results. Your Excellency, as we celebrate. Your Excellency, today we are also delighted with the launch of Margaret Kenyatta Institute for Center for Gender and Social Development that will support capacity development in the nation and beyond. Oh yeah. Your Excellency, allow me to recognize UNFPA Country Director, Representative, Dr. Andemora Orajide, whose tenure has come to an end, and he has been very supportive on gender-based violence and particularly program on FGM. Your Excellency, allow me to just wish him well in his future endeavors. Finally, sir, allow me to appreciate the staff of the Office of the First Lady, development partners, most of them sitting at that corner, and the overall ministerial organizing committee, including the Ministry of Culture, which is represented here by the CS Amina. Where is CS Amina? Yeah, they helped. Your Excellency, they supported the publication of the memoirs as you directed. So I thank them for a job well done. Congratulations. Your Excellency, today we have been a little bit longer, but bear with us, we are just celebrating as women. And I think I now am at that point where it is my humble duty to welcome Her Excellency, the First Lady, Margaret Kenyatta, to make her address, and I think if she has several items to do, if she pleases, she can go on with the program. Your Excellency, I welcome you, and thank you very much for honoring us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And can we give her a better clap because she has been our... She has been our chief guest on International Women's Day for the last 5 years, including even when we had COVID. Can we give her a clap?
Thank you. Your Excellency, the President, Your Excellency, Madam Kagame, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's my distinct honor and pleasure to welcome our special guest and friend with whom we have shared many warm and cordial relations for many years. She has visited us in Kenya in the past and even participated in running in the Beyond Zero Marathon. She has a passion for women and girls and champions issues that affect livelihoods of communities in Rwanda. Today, she has graciously accepted our invitation to participate in the celebration of International Women's Day. I invite my friend, Her Excellency, Mrs. Jeanette Kagame, First Lady of the Republic of Rwanda, to greet you and share her remarks.
Habari zenyu. So you're done with that?
No, I'm not done. I'm coming back. Do you want to say anything for Women's Day?
Later.
No. It's your turn. It's your turn.
That was really short.
No. I'm continuing.
Okay. Your Excellency, the President of Kenya, Mr. Uhuru Kenyatta, Your Excellency, the First Lady of Kenya, Margaret Kenyatta, honorable dignitaries, distinguished guests, good afternoon. Ni furaha kwangu kuwa pamoja nanyi leo hii hapa Nairobi. Asanteni sana kwa mwaliko. How befitting and joyful to be here with you on this International Women's Day to celebrate phenomenal women and gender activism around the world upon the invitation of a woman for whom I bear great esteem. Your Excellency, Mrs. Kenyatta, you said on this day 6 years ago that the actions of women, measurable and immeasurable, hold up half of our society, half of our country, and as you quoted, it half of the world's sky. There is a thorny truth to these words. For all their beauty, they address an injustice that has festered the millennia and that crucial dates such as this one have advocated against for over a century. Gender inequality lives on despite the innovative and at times heroic feats that many women around the world have achieved and for which they have been publicly recognized. At the rate of our current efforts, the World Economic Forum estimates that it will take 135 years or until 2157 for the gender gap to close. The figures are grim, and some questions remained unanswered. With newly emerging threats to the stability and welfare of populations such as climate change and resource depletion, is the world truly comfortable with women being the first in the casualty line? Women make up 70% of the world's poor, and this poverty renders them especially vulnerable to the humanitarian consequences of natural disasters, drought, and famine. 80% of the people displaced by climate change are women. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, to stand aside as our resources are misdistributed and depleted, and as natural disasters gain in frequency, is at best to accept a fate that rips the majority of the world's women from their homes, and that robs them of the dignity to which they are entitled. Honorable dignitaries, esteemed guests, we must address the global indifference towards the issues of sustainability and climate change mitigation. Passivity has poisoned us. It has fed the cynicism of some and the hopelessness of others. It has convinced masses that climate change, a frightful brute of modern society's own making, is unbeatable, unavoidable, and most importantly, none of our concern. But to this, I must ask what justice, what dignity, and what godliness there is in choosing to relegate an ailing world to our children. I know there is integrity and heart in the world, for I have seen their wonders in women whose names are synonymous with courage, dedication, and environmental heroism. To your beloved and never forgotten Wangari Maathai, rest in peace. Today we celebrate the values with which she enriched the world and the movements, initiatives, and vision that these values have engendered. Today, we recognize the scale of the dangers that she and brave women like Gambia's Aïssatou Cissé spotted and opposed before most of us would even know. And today, I hope that our decisiveness honors these women's effort and those of every individual that has embarked on the Green Mission. Ladies and gentlemen, the Kigali Agreement, which has been ratified by 129 countries, had ambitions beyond reducing greenhouse gas emissions. It needed to show precedence for any Rwandan and any African watching that change could be sparked or energized here on our soil. The Rwanda Green Fund's success has been a testament to our potential for ethical, sustainable advancement and to the impact of this progress on the welfare of both men and women. The numbers are beyond encouraging. Of the 176,000 green jobs created by the fund in Rwanda alone, 60% have gone to women. And I believe this figure offers irrefutable proof that mitigation, sustainability, and gender equality are interdependent. Esteemed guests, I hope that every young mind, every organization, every institution, or governmental body that desires a green future is faithful that our sustainability is attainable if we alleviate the load of women. So I ask with a stubborn optimism, are we ready at last to do the imperative? Your Excellency, Mr. President, your presence today testifies to your engagement to a cause that is much better described as the responsibility of an entire civilization than the plight of one gender. I applaud your integrity, for it's impossible to truly love one's people without loving the half that has and will birth them all. Esteemed guests, allow me to celebrate one more incredible woman's accomplishment today as I close my remarks. Considering how great an athlete she is, it's no surprise that she has sprung with such vitality between planning this wonderful celebration, creating a learning center that aligns excellence, innovation, and social awareness, and tending to the responsibilities of her position with her signature grace, Mrs. Kenyatta. Your Institute for Gender and Social Development is yet another impressive finish line you have crossed. This collaboration between Beyond Zero and the Kenya School of Development is ripe with promise. And my dear sister, you have exemplified how the half can and should strive to provide solution for itself. You have demonstrated with the hard work and principle of a truly empowered woman that though support is valued and welcomed, a community, whether united by experience, race, or gender, can look inwards for solutions. I'm thankful for today, and I'm looking forward to closing it with a wonderful read through the inspirational anthology of speeches that you have published today. Congratulations again. Nawashukuru sana kwa muda wenu. Muwe na siku njema. Happy International Women's Day.
Thank you so much. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to be here to celebrate this day with you. It's a special day dedicated to women and girls all over the world. This year's International Women's Day theme gender equality today for a sustainable tomorrow, resonates in so many ways with all our experiences as women. It speaks about the issues that affect our advance towards gender equality. The conversations we have had this morning were led by women and men who have championed this cause in their communities. It's therefore indeed a great honor to be here amongst you. This year's theme amplifies the barriers that women face and the importance of inclusivity to achieve economic development and social change. It also highlights the inequalities facing women and girls, as well as vulnerable groups as a result of climate change. But it also brings to the fore the role of women and girls as powerful change agents because of their resilience, their courage, and the influential roles they play in their homes, their communities, our country, and the world. I thank the Ministry of Public Service, Gender, Senior Citizens and Special Programs, together with all their partners represented here, for creating this valuable opportunity to help others find their voice and to celebrate the valuable contribution of the many individuals who have steered forward the journey of empowering our women and girls, individuals who have worked tirelessly to eradicate all forms of violence against women and girls. Individuals who have empowered our women and girls, as well as entire communities, in economic empowerment, because we know the nexus between economic capability and eradication of all forms of violence. There's also another reason I'm honored to be part of this celebration today. We have launched the start of an initiative that will focus its work on gender and social development. The Margaret Kenyatta Institute recognizes capabilities of many different people, especially women and girls, as leaders in their own right. It recognizes communities as important contributors of social and economic transformation. This has also been the passion and inspiration behind Beyond Zero, and I'm truly inspired and excited about our partnership with the Kenya School of Government. Our joint obligation is to come up with practical innovations that are geared for social change, and I remain committed towards that journey. With those remarks, it is now my honor and pleasure to invite our chief guest, please be upstanding, the President of the Republic of Kenya, to make his remarks. Thank you. Happy Women's Day. God bless you
all. Please be seated. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Margaret. Your Excellency, Mrs. Janet Kagame, the First Lady of the Republic of Rwanda, members of the Diplomatic Corps, our Trailblazers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Let me begin by saying that it is a great pleasure to be here today as we as Kenyans join the rest of the world in celebrating the 2022 International Women's Day. I am happy to note that this gathering does include an intergenerational mix of participants from the entire spectrum of our society. Our progress on gender equality has been driven by countless women at the grassroots, in academia, in politics, in boardrooms, women who have dedicated their lives to championing gender equality. I salute today all of you who in small and big ways have done and continue to do your best to make Kenya a fairer and better place for your families, your communities, and the nation. As we look back on our gender journey over the last 10 years, and indeed over the 59 years since our independence, I do believe we have many reasons to celebrate. And let me just outline a few. Recognizing that education is a best buy for gender equality and empowerment, we have sustained a focus on girls' education and have now achieved gender parity at both primary and secondary school levels. Today, we are proud that every girl child has equal opportunities as the boy child to enroll in school, remain in school, and pursue a career of her choice. We celebrate also the major strides we have made on universal health care and the health gains that we have registered for women and children. Between 2008 and 2020, we recorded a significant decline in key maternal and child health indicators, including under 5 mortality, fertility rate, and maternal mortality. Further, life expectancy at birth has increased to about 67 years, with women living longer than men. So, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, women in Kenya continue to shatter the leadership glass ceiling. A year ago, I was proud to appoint Judge Martha Koome as the first female Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya. 1/3 of my cabinet has been composed of women, some in strategic portfolios, including defense, lands, foreign affairs, energy, to name but a few. And an increasing number of women continue to assume positions of leadership in academia, but also in public and private sectors. We continue to strengthen women's economic empowerment with a focus on vulnerable but entrepreneurial women. And since 2013, through the Women Enterprise Fund, for example, over 20 billion Kenya shillings has been dispersed to over 1 million women enterprises across our country. And since the implementation of our new constitution in 2010, various legislations have been enacted to advance gender equality. Among the most notable is the Matrimonial Property Act of 2013, which safeguards women's property rights, the Land Act and the Land Registration Act, which secures women's land rights, the Prevention Against Domestic Violence Act of 2015, as well as the Election Offences Act 2016 to protect women against violence during elections. Ladies and gentlemen, it is notable, yes, that we have made significant progress in empowering our women folk, but we cannot say that we have achieved all our objectives, and therefore we cannot rest on our laurels. There are still outstanding systemic, structural, and cultural barriers, as well as regional disparities to address. A continuous focus on gender issues is therefore a priority for my administration and should be so even for future administrations. To enable girls from poor backgrounds to stay in school, we have ensured that at least 50% of scholarships are allocated to girls. In 2020, for example, out of 4,811 out of 9,000 scholarships were awarded to girls. And in addition, the government allocates annually about 400 million Kenya shillings to ensure that girls in public schools have access to free sanitary towels. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, female genital mutilation is one cultural practice that has continued to undermine the realization of the potential of our womenfolk. Indeed, it undermines the participation of girls in education, and in addition, it is harmful. It has harmful health consequences. In recognition of this fact, I did make a personal commitment to lead the war to end female genital mutilation. I'm pleased to inform this gathering on the progress that we have made to curb this harmful practice, and I want to applaud cultural as well as religious leaders, especially from the Borana, Samburu, and Pokot communities, who have made bold public declarations to eliminate FGM and child marriages. And I note in particular the Kesima Declaration in Samburu, which I personally witnessed. Gender-based violence violates women's basic human rights. It undermines women's productivity, and it diminishes their self-worth. Gender-based violence also has serious and disruptive spillover effects on our children. As a country, we are proud to co-lead the Global Action Coalition on advancing gender equality and ending all forms of gender-based violence. And indeed, last June, during the Paris Generation Equality Forum, we announced a set of bold commitments to address systemic barriers that allow gender-based violence to thrive in Kenya. And to date, we have recognized some progress towards the fight against gender-based violence. First, we have developed guidelines for the management of county gender-based violence recovery centers to ensure that survivors have access to quality essential services. Second, in October of last year, we launched the integrated policy response to gender-based violence for the National Police Service, and the policy would steer the National Police Service in the establishment, management, and operations of one-stop centers to provide survivors with comprehensive legal, psychosocial, as well as health support. And third, an anti-FGM prosecution unit that has been set up in the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions. So, ladies and gentlemen, while the government will continue to strengthen the laws and regulations to address gender-based violence, it is incumbent upon all of us as individuals and society to protect our women and girls. These are our daughters, our sisters, and our loved ones. I must at this stage refer to what was referred to here, because without a doubt that was a very disheartening thing to see, and it is only one of others that have occurred across this country, we must be honest. And yesterday, I did give instructions and I have ordered a crackdown on all border operators starting here in Nairobi and moving across the country. And the reason I have just chosen just to pause, just to refer to this, is because I know with this, and because we're in the silly season of politics, there are some out there who will go out and start saying the government is harassing small traders, small business people. There is nothing further from the truth. We want to see our young people succeed in their businesses. There is no government that has done more to support our young people in trying to foster their businesses. There is no government that has done what we have done to help these borders in terms of reducing the price of these motorbikes. And we have seen the number and how they have flourished across the country. That was not done because we wanted to kill their business. We wanted to promote their business. We wanted to ensure that they are able to earn a decent daily wage, which is still our commitment. we applaud the many wonderful young men, and in some cases women, who ride these motorbikes and do great service to this country, delivering people who ordinarily would have had to walk long distances, that last mile, where a bus or a matatu will not go, and helping passengers with their luggage to get to their doorsteps. We know the great work that they are doing in terms of helping us achieve a truly digital economy through delivery of goods across our country using border borders, actually really boosting our digital economy. We have heard of many heroic stories of young men who have come to the rescue of women and people in distress voluntarily and returning even goods that people have left behind. This we cherish, we love, and we want to support, and we shall continue to support. But friends, that is not a license for you and your motorbike to harass pedestrians by driving on pedestrian walkways and chasing them back off onto the road. It's not a license that allows for a border to be used to do drive-by shootings or to break vehicles' windows and harass motorists along the road. And most definitely, it is not a license for you to strip and remove dignity from our women. No. No. We want to work together with you. We want to help your business prosper. But you must also do your bit, kwa sababu wateja wenu ni hawa wakina mama. Watakuwa wateja wenu kwa njia gani ikiwa nyinyi wenyewe mnawatokosea heshima vile mumewakosea? We cannot be a society that allows that. Na mimi nauliza viongozi, tafuteni hawa wabaya katikati yenu muwaondoe. We are going to re-register you all again, and we must make sure. Kwa hivyo, wale wanataka kupiga siasa, wapige siasa. Sisi tunajua tunalinda maisha na mali na haswa wakina mama wa Jamhuri ya Kenya, na tutafanya hivyo. So as I have said, I have instructed the law enforcement officers to use the instruments within the law to punish these perpetrators. And there should never be a repeat of what we saw, for this is a blight on the entire Kenyan society. So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we are here today on the theme gender equality, today for a sustainable tomorrow. And this recognizes that climate change as well as environmental degradation pose an existential threat to the planet. However, while everyone is threatened, it is the world's poorest and those in vulnerable situations, especially women and girls, who bear the brunt of climate-related social economic effects. All the evidence underscores the vital link between gender, social equity, and climate change, and recognizes that without gender equality, a sustainable future will remain out of reach. In the last 5 years, Kenya has witnessed severe as well as prolonged droughts and the worst locust outbreak in 25 years, while rising water levels in the Rift Valley have also displaced thousands of people. Women have been disproportionately affected because of their central role in crop and livestock production. Women walk long distances to look for water, and they have left behind children and small livestock whom they are forced to look after, while men move away in search of scarce pasture and water in pastoral communities. And they also bear the brunt of the national resource-based conflicts, as we have seen in parts of our country. But women are not just victims of climate change. I do believe, as we have heard today, that they are also part of the solution. As agents of change to mitigate climate change and to strengthen resilience and adaptability, we have a strong platform for women to be at the forefront of sustainability. Actions we have taken to strengthen women empowerment, improve their ownership of assets such as land, and to increase their control of financial resources have consolidated the role of women as change makers. We now need to harness that capacity by putting women and girls at the center of our climate change initiatives. This includes initiatives on climate financing, new technologies, as well as training. I applaud the many women in Kenya who are at the forefront in leading sustainability initiatives across the country. They include women groups, such as a group in Marsabit that is working with World Vision and the Kenya Forestry Service to promote regreening and reforestation initiatives. I also note a number of people who have also key executives, such as Rebecca Miano, a leader in the generation of renewable energy, as well as innovators such as Nora Magero, the founder and CEO of Drop Access, a youth-led social enterprise that develops practical and affordable energy solutions. Nora has developed the VaxiBox, a portable solar-powered refrigerator that is easily mounted on a bicycle or motorbike to safely transport and store medical as well as food supplies. So to them, we give our congratulations as we encourage more of our women and girls to participate in climate change activities. So, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, as I conclude, I would like to also recognize our women trailblazers who champion gender equality and the empowerment of women in the early years of our independence and after our independence. Their bold, tireless, and unheralded work paved the way and set the pace for the great progress we witness today on gender equality. I want to thank, through you, Margaret Kobia, not Margaret Kenyatta this time, the Department for Gender, for organizing visits to these women and encouraging younger women to draw instructive lessons from these pace setters. We as a country advance when we learn from the past and use the lessons as a springboard to build a better future. In this spirit, today we shall be conferring awards to celebrate women and girls who have done exemplary work in their respective fields to promote gender equality and the empowerment of women. I would also like to take this opportunity to congratulate now you, Margaret Kenyatta, the First Lady of the Republic of Kenya, and the Kenya School of Government for setting up the Margaret Kenyatta Institute for Gender and Social Development. This institution will be critical in ensuring that we maintain and protect the gains that we have made on gender equality and provide leadership in identifying, addressing emerging challenges as they arise. An urgent program the Institute could immediately take up is to provide leadership in helping our Kenyan girls recover the education losses arising from the pandemic that we have just come through, and to support our women regain livelihoods, and to develop strategies for putting women at the center of a green and sustainable post-COVID recovery agenda. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, let me state that we are proud of our past achievements and we remain confident about scaling the heights on gender equality as we progress into the future. I wish you all today a very happy International Women's Day 2022. Mungu awabariki, awalinde, na tutaendelea hivyo hivyo. Asanteni sana.
Asanti sana Mheshimiwa Rais. Kwa heshima ninaomba uketi. Shukrani za dhati, na kwa sasa Mheshimiwa Rais, kwa ruhusa yako kwa mara nyingine, ninaomba tuweze kuelekea katika kipindi cha kuwatuza na kuwapongeza baadhi ya Wakenya wenzetu ambao wameweza kubobea katika masuala mbalimbali. Tutaanzia kwa wale wamekuwa katika mpango wa kupigana dhidi ya vita vya ukeketaji, swala ambalo umelipa kipaumbele mno, na tunashukuru na kulipongeza, na hilo nitalifanya kwa kumwalika mkurugenzi mkuu wa chuo hiki Profesa Ludeki Chweya ili aweze kuwasoma kwa majina waliofuzu katika masomo hayo siku ya leo. Karibu sana Profesa.
Your Excellency, I am pleased to present to you the 114 anti-female genital mutilation champions who have successfully completed training on sustainable approaches to eradication of FGM at the Kenya School of Government. The training was conducted with the generous support from the Anti-Female Genital Mutilation Board, as well as from the United Nations Population Fund. Cohort 1 comprises 70 champions. This cohort is graduating with us, but virtually. They are watching right now. Let us applaud them all. The second cohort is graduating here on campus and comprises 44 champions. They are all present with us here. Please rise up as I call your name. We have, Your Excellency, Ahmed Abdi. Ahmed Abdi, we have Rosaline Golo Galgalu Guyo, we have Joseph Gichunge Mtua, we have Itie Masela Kainda, we have Edward Riungu Kamunde, Nanzi Njoki Njagi, Penina Karimu Majau, Daniel Ndwiga, Catherine Kerubo, Jacob Magero Obadia, Christine Gatia Alphonse, Emmanuel Mwita Roba, Jones Maranga Makori, Ruth Kemuma Mogaka, Sheila Jepchumba Rotich, Shadrach Belami Leparmwat, Anne Kanai, John Letiwa, Winston Chagulo, Maria Nareku Jonathan, Halima Bochola, Ali Mohammed Osman, Leka Rokia Ole Nangoro, Jedida Lemarion, Robinson Rotich, Sally Chepkogen Kirui, Fatuma Ronei Gilasi, Abdullahi Haji Gudo, Eunice Jepchumba, Solomon Kemei Kiterie, Josephine Nderias Lengupis, Esther Kenosoi Kuraru, Abdishkuru Jeli Ibrahim, Muhumbo Idle Hassan, Abud Hussein Kala, Nuria Golo Halake, Jacqueline Koech, Kevin Kipkorir Moindi, Susan Cheyech Kulem, Dennis Masika Mwinyi, Shukri, Junet Halio Haji, Safia Dahir Ibrahim, Emmanuel Lekishon, and Sereti Nabala Sharon.
Katika kipindi hicho mama wa taifa letu la Kenya Bi Margaret Kenyatta, ninaomba angalau uwapongeze.
On this day, 8th March 2022, I hereby award you this certificate in recognition of your outstanding achievement and contribution in advancing the government's commitment to end female genital mutilation by 2022. Ending female genital mutilation requires our collective effort, and I congratulate you all for this great achievement. Female genital mutilation is the worst form of gender-based violence meted on women and girls. I commend you for the outstanding work you have done and the commitment you have demonstrated to continue to bring this practice to an end. As we celebrate this year's International Women's Day, I encourage you to go forth and continue to do this great work in your communities using the knowledge and experience you have all shared together. Congratulations.
Asante mama taifa, tunaomba unaweza keti. Tafadhali tuketi. Mheshimiwa Rais, katika kipindi cha pili cha kuwatuza baadhi ya Wakenya hawa ambao wameweza kubobea sana katika nyanja hizo, ninaomba niweze kumkaribisha katibu mkuu katika kitivo cha masuala ya jinsia Bi Faith Kasiva atuongoze kwa kuwataja baadhi ya wanawake bomba ambao kwa njia mbalimbali wameweza kuwa tofauti katika utendakazi wao kwenye nyanja tofauti vile vile. Karibu sana madam.
Thank you, Your Excellencies. I now have the pleasure to present to us the annual Trailblazer Awards and Recognition Awardees for 2022. For the category of Peace and Security, we have Mercy Muregu from Uasin Gishu. Please stand. Mercy is a journalist who is working with duty bearers in Uasin Gishu on peace and security issue. For women in leadership and decision-making category, I have Wedo Asedi from Baringo. Please stand up. She's running a mentorship program in Baringo. Reproductive health category, I have Christine Sami from Kitui, who is transforming women in Kitui. For climate change category, I have Raimin Paulette from Kisumu, who has been working very well on the issues of environment. For access to justice, I have Lydia Murioki from Embu, who has spearheaded public interest litigation that actually ensured that P3 forms are not charged, so that they are now free. Your Excellencies, for the special category, starting with the late Dr. Joyce Laboso Award, we have Diana Kamande, who has been championing the plight of widows. For the late Mariam Elmawi, former PS, we have Sally Musonye, who is an engineer who is working with girls in STEM. For the institutional award, non-state actor, we have FIDA Kenya, that has been leading in embracing women's leadership. For the institutional state category, we have the National Commission for Science and Technology and Innovation, NACOSTE. They are the first who have ensured that the 17th performance contracting cycle on gender and GBV. Your Excellency, for the anti-FGM Lifetime Award, we have the Honorable Agnes Pareyo. Your Excellency, for the Service Award under FGM and JV programs, we have Dr. Ademola Olajide, Country Representative UN. Last but not least, please stay standing. This year, Your Excellency, we are recognizing female officers in prisons who are pushing public service reforms in our institution of rehabilitation. I want to start with Superintendent Asha Siome from Kisumu, Kitale Women Prisons, Superintendent of Prisons Mwangombe from Wundanyi, Superintendent Margaret Waithera from Kisii Women Prisons, Superintendent Marianne Wanjiru from Thika Women Prisons, Chief Inspector Nancy Chepkonga from Lodwar Women Prisons, Inspector Jamutai from Kapenguria Women Prisons, and lastly, former offender Teresia Njoroge from Langata Women Prison. I submit, Your Excellency. Thank you.
Wakiendelea kusimama, Mheshimiwa Rais, naomba angalau uwape neno moja la kuwapongeza. Tafadhali, karibu.
Let me take this opportunity on behalf of all Kenyans to congratulate each and every one of you for your sterling performance and the recognition that has been bestowed upon you today by all Kenyans. You will remain and continue to function as a guiding light to other girls to show that it is indeed possible to lead. Women can lead from the front, and you have shown that. And we congratulate you all for that, encourage you to continue, and encourage you to continue mentoring others across the country. And for all Kenyans, male or female, to appreciate and to understand that every individual, as I said earlier, matters. Every individual. And every individual can make a difference. As my good friend Olajide, who is leaving us, has proved, the issue of gender equity is not an issue for the women of the world. It is an issue for the citizen of the world, which includes the men. So once again, congratulations. And I wish you every success in your future endeavors. Olajide, thank you for your service to Kenya and our region, and we wish you every success as you move on to higher heights. Thank you very much. Please be seated. Thank you. And by the way, okay. Thank you very much. No, I just wanted to go back to that border issue because we have a guest here. By the way, for those of you who have had the opportunity to travel to Rwanda and to Kigali, it is not that they don't have borders. They have many, just like us. They're all over the road. But they are disciplined, my good people. They are disciplined. So I want to say that ours, all we are asking them to do is please be disciplined, and we shall support you. We want to support you. We want your businesses to grow, but not in the manner in which you are currently carrying and conducting yourselves. So, Janet Kagame, maybe you should send a few of your young men to teach our young men how to behave and treat women decently and with dignity. Asanteni sana.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Rais. Kwa sasa tunatamatisha na ninamkabidhi mwenzangu June Ogola. Tafadhali tuelekeze.
Asante sana mfawidhi mwenzangu. Your Excellency, we are now coming to the last in the program, not the least but the main of launching. We are now inviting you, Your Excellency, to come and launch Margaret Kenyatta Institute strategic plan for this year, up to this year, running to the coming years, which now I invite you, Your Excellency, with their excellencies to accompany you to come and conduct the launch, Your Excellency. We are on standby for the launch, and at this moment I request all of you to be upstanding as His Excellency, flanked by their excellencies, the First Lady of the Republic of Kenya and Their Excellency, the First Lady of the Republic of Rwanda, as they conduct the launch at the count of 5 up to 0. So we are on standby. May I request that all of us, we sit down kindly. Let us have a seat as we conduct it so you can watch it on the screens. Can we all please sit? Can we all sit? And there we go. At a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And there it goes. Margaret Kenyatta Institute Strategic Plan and Margaret Kenyatta speech book, which is being launched today on this special day, International Women's Day. Thank you. And now I invite you, Your Excellency, for a series of presentations. As I invite you to receive the books, and then you can give the books to the First Lady. Yes. Makofi, tumpigie makofi. And also, His Excellency the President is going to present the book to Her Excellency the First Lady for Rwanda. Yes. Excellency. Yeah. And there, the strategic plan and the book is books are being presented to Excellency the First Lady of Rwanda. Makofi kwao tena. Tupige makofi. Asante sana. And now I'm going to invite you for a series of photos. Your Excellency, kindly, you join them for a photo. We want with that background. We are going to do the 2 photos. The first one will be His Excellency with their excellencies, and then they'll be joined also with both CSS who are present here. Let us join on the photo. And the DG. Let us give another round of applause. Yes, we applaud them. Thank you for that wonderful. May I now request that we take our positions as we wait for the closing national anthem. And now wherever you are, ninawaomba nyote tuweze kusimama ili tuweze kupata wimbo wa taifa ya kutamatisha sherehe ya siku ya leo. Basi sote tukiwa tumesimama wima, wimbo wa taifa la Kenya. And with that, we have come to the end of the program. Their Excellencies may leave at their own pleasure. Thank you. State House Choir.
There you have it, President Uhuru Kenyatta now leaving together with First Lady Margaret Kenyatta and Rwanda's First Lady Jeanette Kagame. After marking today's International Women's Day, President Uhuru Kenyatta highlighting progress made by the government in the country in tackling the challenges facing women. President Uhuru Kenyatta talking about